Sweet. We're live. Awesome. So power was out. Well, actually, no. A couple of things. First of all, I tried to do this episode on Monday, but for whatever reason, I was recording videos on OBS. Okay, so I recently made a discovery that whatever the KPBS thing, I think, hang on, let me actually look at my OBS settings. Yeah, kbps, the bitrate, I didn't realize that was set at 900 to 1100, and I didn't realize that would affect the actual footage of the videos that I've been recording. So I had to bump that up drastically, and I decided, 4500 would be a good number, right? What's the worst that could possibly happen with that? Well, I keep forgetting to change it back to 4500. I'll probably may bump it down to 3000 maybe. And yeah. So I had some connection problems, and I decided to postpone the show to today. And thankfully, things kind of went well. Things kind of went the way that I hoped for it to, because on Tuesday the power went out. Tuesday night the power went out, and I was without power for the last 2 days. I recently got it back today, a few hours ago actually. So here we are. We're doing this episode, and I just decided to get it done early and over with. So because I just didn't want to wait. And I also hope that you guys like the brand new bar on the bottom of the screen that will be appearing in some videos recorded with OBS in the future. So this is going to be a good indicator to kind of get used to the bar. So that's all my social media down on the bottom of the thing. Be sure to go check that out. And yes, I did kind of max out the mic audio. But anyways, all right. So let's get down to the synopsis, get down to the actual main subject matter of this episode of Grand Slam WWE. What were you thinking? They had just recently released some wrestlers here. And then Ric Flair, which, understandable. We kind of saw this coming. Really, it wouldn't have mattered anyway if Ric Flair requested his release in it again, from what I've seen, and there's a good chance that he might show up at AEW. I'm guessing that's kind of a rumor. I guess that's something that people may be talking about. But if he does show up at AEW, cool. I guess it'll be early, mid to late 90s, early 2000s WCW on TNT vibes, if you know what I mean. Okay, so recently they had made some more releases. This was literally, from what I heard, during last week's episode of SmackDown. So let me go ahead and read the list for you guys here. So they've mainly focused on NXT for this. Bobby Fish, Bronson Reed, Jake Atlas, Ari Sterling, Kona Reeves, Leon Ruff, Stephen Smith, Tyler Rust, Zechariah Smith, Asher Hale, Giant Zangier, and Mercedes Martinez. So, to kind of give a rundown of the list here, just of some people that I kind of feel like I just don't know. Some people I kind of understand why, but then there's just some that I don't. Leon Ruff, to start off, I can kind of understand, but at the same time I can't. Because when you brought him in, you immediately made him North American champion. He had a pretty decent run, but I don't know how far he actually went with this title run, let alone his run in NXT. I don't know how far that got him. So that I can kind of understand, but at the same time not really, because you could have done so much more with him. Kona Reeves, I don't know. Stephen Smith, I don't know. Tyler Rust, I don't know. Zechariah Smith, I don't know. Asher Hale, I don't know. Ari Sterling, I don't know. Jake Atlas, I feel like I do. I can't even remember Jake Atlas, but either way, I don't know. But let's get to some of the people that I just don't understand why you would release them. Bronson Reed. Bronson, man, he was starting to get people behind him. You pushed him to the North American Championship and he had a pretty good run with it, but then as soon as he starts gaining traction, you just kill it off and release him. As same goes with Bobby Fish. Bobby Fish could have had a pretty decent singles run. He probably could have gotten a North American Championship. Maybe if you want to go that far, an NXT Championship. But I mean, if he wanted this release, if he wanted to be with his family, closer to his family, fine, I can kind of understand. But at the same time, why? And then Mercedes Martinez. Why? Why would you release Mercedes Martinez? She's not only a veteran wrestler, first of all, but secondly, she could have had an NXT Women's Championship run in her, maybe two. And on top of that, if WWE moved her to the main roster, she could have feuded with Shayna Baszler. She could have. But, WWE is like, nah, fam, budget cuts, y'all are out of here. This is the problem with WWE. They've got so many wrestlers. They've hired in so many wrestlers. At least, they hire at least a dozen a year, maybe more. And they don't know what to do with them because there's too many. So that's why they have to make these releases, and sometimes they have to release somebody who all the fans are behind. It's just all your wrestlers. You need to be consistent with all of them. Like, you need to, like, I don't know, just at this point, it's too late. Are basically gone. I mean, Bronson Reed, like I said, he was starting to get people behind him. Mercedes Martinez, I feel like could have done something. There's just a really good handful of people that I personally feel have taken NXT up to the next level. Rhea Ripley was another one. Bianca Belair was another one. But now they're up in the main roster. I mean, they could make a return to NXT. I mean, NXT is now just at this point a third brand. So you might as well move them over there if you want to. And let's see. Adam Cole. Adam Cole is another guy. I mean he's not released, but his contract is set to expire after SummerSlam. So really we have no clue on what his plans are going to be after SummerSlam. All we know is that we're going to get Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly for the third time, which I didn't know that last year's NXT TakeOver was NXT TakeOver 35, because this year's is NXT TakeOver 36, and I didn't know. I thought last year was NXT TakeOver 36, but I guess they're redoing the whole thing again, this time with fans. I literally have no clue. WWE has just been so inconsistent with all of their releases, and not mainly just with their releases. They've been inconsistent just entirely. I mean, with talent. I'm sorry, but it's just because, like I said, you get so many wrestlers. They hire in so many at a time to where they get to a point where they just don't know what to do with them. And then they're just like, oh, sorry, you're out of here. Bye. And make up some BS excuse saying, oh, it's budget cuts and all that stuff. I mean, they did the same thing to Bray Wyatt when he was getting ready for his return to SummerSlam. and they're just like, oh, nope, sorry, you're out of here. Sorry, it's because of budget cuts. Bye. And they just release him. Like, it's so stupid. I'm sorry, but just WWE is just should not have this performance class. I don't even know what it's called. I mean, they should have the performance center, but just not hire in so many other wrestlers at a time. They just shouldn't do that. I mean, because that's unhealthy. They're taking in too many people, and just at that point, they're going to start